We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. But he died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
Big-time nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early Pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late Pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our Pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record Pick 6 payouts. Big-time nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the race books and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning.
Well, all right. Good morning, everybody. Everything's working this morning. So it's a beautiful Sunday morning. And we welcome you to the Race Day Show as we come to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard in the gaming capital on the South Point Streaming Network at YouTube. We welcome you to the show. Everything is working fine, including our anchor radio station here in town, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM. If you're running around town, I know there's a lot of people running around town early this morning because it is the first Sunday of the NFL season. The first Sunday of the NFL, the real NFL, you know, the ones that count. And our race book is starting to fill up, and so is the sports book out here to play a little football and horses today. So we welcome you to the show. And some of you, of course, traveled here by listening to Sports Talk 1400 AM before you got here. And we welcome you to the show. We welcome all of the folks listening to us through our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas, .world, And we cover your devices, your iPhone, Android, and Google phones with the apps. You can get the KSHP app, listen to us there through the radio station, or the YouTube app, so you can hear and see us through the YouTube app on your devices, and anywhere you get your podcasting as well. It has been a very interesting Del Mar season this year. And it was kind of exemplified yesterday with the craziness that went on at Del Mar yesterday, with some of the results, of course. We'll get into that in just a moment. Kentucky Downs hit a home run there. They had a record handle at Kentucky Downs yesterday with all those great races. We'll get into the wrap-up of the racetracks and all the stakes races in a moment. But today is closing day at Del Mar. And so, as you know, on closing day, everything goes out the door. Just pick up the plants on the way and take them with you, too. It's okay. It's fine. It's closing day. So there'll be mandatory payoffs on everything today. It's closing day, mandatory payoffs. There's no carryover at Del Mar in the Pick 6 after what happened yesterday. That would have been nice with the mandatory payoff today, but there is no carryover. So it'll be just a mandatory payoff on all the pools today as they are bet today as well. And, of course, we're waiting for New York racing to resume back down in the city at Belmont at Aqueduct. So as we wrap up this weekend's racing action, we have Kentucky Downs that has one more day of racing in their short meet, and that'll happen after today. One more day, and that's on Wednesday. And then Kentucky Downs is done. So we got Del Mar closing today. 2 days left today and Wednesday at Kentucky Downs. Then they'll start resuming racing on the New York racing circuit in New York at Aqueduct, Belmont at Aqueduct, on the 11th, coming up next week on the 11th. Los Alamitos will start the day after, wrapping up Del Mar today. The Southern California racing season moves to Los Alamitos for a couple of weeks. That'll start on the 12th. And Churchill Downs will also open on the 11th after the conclusion of Kentucky Downs. So we got the turnover happening right after we're done this week and into next week. We'll start getting the new racetracks jumping on board. Okay? Today we got Jonathan Ardoon, and of course Rich Ang is away on the weekend, but he gave me not only picks for Kentucky Downs and for Del Mar, but he's got an NFL pick for you today as well. John Linda will be with us along with Jerry Jackowitz as well. Okay? Bob Baffert. But I'll tell you what, the last weekend of racing at Del Mar, all you got to do is look at Bob Baffert for the big stakes races. The debutante, he's got that loaded. He had that loaded yesterday. And today in the futurity, Bob Baffert is going for his 18th win in the Del Mar Futurity. He's won the last 4 in a row, and he's loaded for bear in that race today as well. So along with that, we got a couple of $1 million races out at Kentucky Downs. Emerald Downs is going to kick in with 4 state-bred stakes races, and of course Monmouth Park will give us a stakes race as well. So let's take a look at what happened yesterday. Kentucky Downs. First race, Frankie Dettori and Wesley Ward get together to win that race for 2-year-old maiden fillies, a horse called Sadie Earp, paying $6.32. Second race, Louis Saez checked in on Risk Manager for Mike Maker's first win of the day at $15.84. Then you had a big $47 winner in the third. Fourth race, Frankie Dettori and Wesley Ward hook up again together, so they got 2 races together with a win in the fourth race, Saturday Flirt, paying $11.44. And then the fifth race, Tyler Gaffleone gets his first win of the day for Brendan Walsh, paying $6.12. The early pick 5 paid $7,743 and change. Then we get to the 6 races in all of the stakes races, the 6 stakes races that go in a row at Kentucky Downs. And just before they started that, big rainstorm came in through Kentucky Downs. And after a small delay, the turf course was labeled good. And so the sixth race, the $2 million Ladies Marathon Invitational, was won by Stellify. Stellify, of course, a horse that Jonathan Hardoon liked in that race on the show yesterday when we were going through the races. Stellify wins. Florent Garreau's first win of the day for Brad Cox, paying $6.22. Now, remember, by the way, she outran Way to Be Marie, who finished second, and Maiwa, who finished third. Remember yesterday on the show, Jonathan Hardoon was telling us that one of the key handicapping elements you should use at Kentucky Downs is if a horse has either run there and run well there, or if a horse has run there and won or ran there early in the season and comes right back before the season is over. That was the case with Stellify. Stellify ran 6 days before yesterday and came back and won yesterday the Ladies Marathon Invitational. Then we went to the $2.5 million Mint Millions Invitational at a mile, and the winner there was Epic Ride, who was on the pace all the way for Edgar Morales and John Ennis, paying $30.54 in an upset there, outrunning the closing Leganos, who finished second, and Beach Gold, who was third. In the $2 million Gun Runner at a mile for 3-year-olds, the winner there was Plensa. Plensa, Florent Garreau's second winner of the day for Rusty Arnold, paid $47.20. Plensa had just broke his maiden and was eligible for non-winners other than, and wins this $2 million stakes race, the Gun Runner, on the lead for Rusty Arnold, and $47.20 the payoff there. Finishing second was Giocoso. Third in the race was Namron, who finished third. The pick 5, that middle pick 5 covering those races, paid $19,195 and change. Pick 4 paid over $3,000. Then we got to the $2 million Music City at 6.5 furlongs on the turf. There, She's So Spicy wins that race for Ired Ortiz Jr. in a very, very solid effort there for Jose D'Angelo, paying $8.42. Trainer D'Angelo also had the second place finisher in the race, and that was Chloe. Finishing third was Tabit. So the D'Angelo exacta for $1 paid $73 and change. Then we get to the Franklin Simpson, the $2 million Franklin Simpson at 6.5 furlongs on the turf for 3-year-olds. And the winner there was Troubleshooting, Tyler Gaffleone's second win of the day for trainer Greg Foley, paying $13.84, outrunning Golden Afternoon, a big long shot who held on for second, and Governor Sam, who had a little bit of a traffic trouble and finished third in the race. This was trainer Greg Foley's first Grade 1 winner, so congratulations to trainer Greg Foley there. And then the big race, the $2.5 million Grade 2 Kentucky Turf Cup Invitational, a Breeders' Cup win in your in race at 1.5 miles. The winner there was Old Crazy Bones. Old Crazy Bones under Flavian Pratt for trainer Mike Maker's second win, paid $15.50. This horse was bet down from 15 to 1 on the morning line and paid $15.50. Mike Maker claimed this horse 2 starts back for $100,000 and wins a $2.5 million race with Flavian Pratt. By the way, Mike Maker was winning his 6th Kentucky Turf Cup overall. Congratulations to that team and the folks who recognized that and bet that horse down to a $15 winner. Final race, Flavian Pratt came back to win the late double with Brad Cox trainee paying $6.64. That late pick 5 paid $160 I should say, and change, $20,160 and change. Nobody had the pick 6. You got to carry over in the pick 6 at Kentucky Downs today of over $91,000. The 5 out of 6 in the pick 6 yesterday paid $10,187.98. And they had a handle record, a new one-day wagering handle record at Kentucky Downs. They bet $25,385,003 yesterday at Kentucky Downs. Congratulations to all. Now we go to Del Mar. Del Mar, first race on the turf. Hector Barrios wins that for Dan Blacker, paying $5.40. Then we get to the third race, Kazuchi Kimura for Mike McCarthy's first win at $8.80. Fifth race, Alaramo with Ricky Gonzalez aboard gave Mike McCarthy his second win of the day, paying $11 even. The sixth race was the Grade 1 Del Mar Debutante. You know the deal with Baffert in there. Well, guess what? Baffert had 3 horses in the race. 2 were favorites. They were going back and forth as the odds-on favorites. And lo and behold, his third entry under Mike Smith, Bottle of Rouge, runs them both down. Bottle of Rouge, the longest price of the 3 Baffert entries in the Del Mar Debutante, wins with Mike Smith again and paid $20.20. Bob Baffert winning the Del Mar Debutante. For the 12th time, the Del Mar Baffert Debutante dozen. Bottle of Rouge. By the way, Bottle of Rouge, I should say, Bottle of Rouge is owned by his wife, Jill Baffert. This horse was a $100,000 purchase at the sales. That's cheap for Bob Baffert. So he got a cheapie for his wife and won the Del Mar Debutante. Finishing second was Explora, Baffert's big favorite, who Bottle of Rouge ran down. And Lawali finished third in the Del Mar Debutante. The Del Mar Juvenile Fillies on the Turf was the 7th race on the card. They're Dreaming of Alleys with Diego Herrera wins in an upset. Here's the key. Before I give you the price of the winner, it was trained by Phil D'Amato. Phil D'Amato trained this horse. Dreaming of Alleys upset the apple cart and paid $125.20 for every $2 win bet. Phil D'Amato in the Del Mar Juvenile Fillies Turf. Finishing second at 75-1 was Penalty Bay. By the way, that Penalty Bay was a V horse on Jerry's sheet. Finishing third was Hyper Gamey. So and that horse was 16-1. So you got a 61-1 shot, a 75-1 shot, and a 16-1 shot that finishes first, second, and third in the Del Mar Juvenile Fillies Turf. 50-cent trifecta, $8,226.75. The 10-cent super, $8,044.15. Then we move on. The 8th race, Lyle Song wins for Antonio Fresu and Mark Glatt's first winner, $6 even. We get to the John Maybe at a mile and 1/8 on the turf, the 9th race on the card, and there, gimme another. Juan Hernandez aboard for Graham Motion pays $6.80, outrunning Maduro and Mission of Joy. The 10th race winner, Mark Glatt's second win of the day, and Chavez is the apprentice. Chavez got his first win of his career, $45 even. The last race winner, Wordplay, Umberto Rispoli for Jeff Mullins, paid $4.80. You put all of those prices together, a $45 winner, a $125 winner, and outside of the last race that was bet down to the almost even money, put all that together, and somebody had this thing. The pick six paid $165,516, $165,516. Now, we all were speculating, and even Kurt Hoover on the simulcast, when they got to the last race on the simulcast signal, said it's hard to believe anybody's even alive in the race, let alone the eventual winner is the favorite. And everybody's got their their antennas up about, is this another CAW deal? Well, in this case, it wasn't. In this case, it was a $288 ticket that was bet through the Twin Spires website. That is some lucky good stuff, or the greatest handicapping I've ever seen. That at Del Mar yesterday. Colonial Downs had 6 stakes races. The Kitten's Joy won by Casacciello for Mr. Arrieta, Francisco Arriera for Keith DeSormo, $7 even there. The Colonial Cup won by Safe Trip Home. Emmanuel Esquivel for William Cohens, paying $9.80. The Rosie's Stakes for 2-year-olds won by Royal Testament. Eric Cancel for George Weaver at $6 even. The Haas Stakes, won by Doncho. Doncho was ridden by Jamie Torres for Michelle Lavelle, paying $6.20. The Old Dominion Oaks, won by As Catch Can. Jamie Torres aboard there, paying $34.20 for Jonathan Thomas. And the main event of the day, the Grade 3 Old Dominion Derby, was won by World Beater in the final jump. World Beater, Jamie Torres aboard. Jamie Torres won the last 3 stakes races. This one for Riley Mott. World Beater, the odds-on prohibitive favorite, paid $2.80 in a very exciting finish, just beating Maestro, who finished second, and Outrunner, who finished third at Colonial Downs. The Super Derby at Louisiana Downs, won by Instant Replay, who did the same thing. This horse was odds-on and just got up to 1 in the last jump. Instant Replay for Tim Thurton and Brad Cox paid $3 even and almost blew it. Perry County was second and Fountain Lake was third in that one. So the 2 odds-on favorites in those derbies yesterday got up in the final jumps to win. Finally, at Woodbine, a couple of stakes races. The Wonder Where, the winner there was Aristella. Aristella for Rachel Halden paid $17.80, outrunning Scat Girl and Shifty. And in the Singspiel, the winner there was Haunted Dream. Rafael Hernandez got his 3rd win of the day with that one for Al Jahani, paying $4.80, outrunning Tosin, Wish, and Dancing in Denial. And that is what happened yesterday around the country. Great racing yesterday at Kentucky Downs, and very unusual racing, kind of unusual results at Del Mar, but somebody had that pick 6, so there you go. All right, on today's show, again, Jonathan Nardoon, Rich Ing, John Lindo, Jerry J. We got your racing menu coming up next, and everything is working fine. So we'll keep our fingers crossed and go to our first break as the horses continue to train around the racetrack. Don't forget to jump on to the chat box on the YouTube network on the Race Day page. And if you haven't already subscribed, do so. It's free, and then you can start chatting. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Big-time, nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record pick 6 payouts. Big-time, nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas again. Coming up next week after the closing, both in Kentucky and Southern California, Los Alamitos will start on Friday, and Churchill Downs and Belmont at Aqueduct will kick in on Thursday, that next week. Love the chatters, and I know Jonathan Nardoon will take a chuckle off of this. We got one chatter on the chat box that said, when Bob Baffert has half the field in a race and you take the 3 to 5 shot of his, you might as well give your money to charity. That was funny. All right. Here in Las Vegas, what is it? 70, what do we got? 77 degrees here in Las Vegas. Going to be 99. We're not going to reach 100 today. It's beautiful outside. It was a beautiful walk in the parking lot this morning. Around the country, 87 with a possible showers there in Miami at Gulfstream Park. In New York with no racing, well, it looks like it's 71 and it might have a few showers there as well. Chicago's going to be sunny and 69. And, of course, here in Las Vegas, again, 99. Southern California is going to be a little hot. It's going to be 91 degrees in L.A., which is going to be just about the same there in San Diego where Del Mar is at. And, of course, the hot spot in the nation is, again, Phoenix, Arizona, 102 degrees. But it looks like as far as precipitation is concerned around the country, looks pretty good. We're in pretty good shape there. Everything is moving off the East Coast or down south in the Gulf. All right, here's the racing menu for today. Reminding you, as we always do, first post times are Pacific. So if you're here at the South Point, by the way, it's already crowded upstairs between the race and sports book. Of course, with football starting, everybody's jazzed up there. But if you're playing the races here at the South Point today, going to mix a little football and horse racing in. These will be the first post times that roll out in the race books here today. We are in the Pacific time zone. If you are listening in the many different time zones that we broadcast to around the world, just adjust from your time zone to the Pacific time zone, tweak it out, and then you won't miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad. We begin with Laurel Park today, 9 races. The feature race is the $100,000 Polynesian. That's at a mile for 3-year-olds and up. A short field of 5, 4 to 5 favorite there is Post Time. Post Time's there with Sheldon Russell aboard. That's the feature race, 9 today at Laurel. And a first post time at Laurel Park is at 9:10. Then we go to Gulfstream Park. They got 10 races today at Gulfstream Park. Their Rainbow Pick 6 jackpot carryover is $78,918. 10 races, first post time at Gulfstream is at 9:50. Monmouth Park, from the shores of New Jersey. Monmouth Park has a first post time today with a Pick 6 jackpot carryover of $13,716, set at 9:50 for their 9-race card at Monmouth today. Woodbine, north of the border, they've got 10 races. Woodbine, a couple of carryovers there. The Super High 5 jackpot carryover, $57,759. Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $61,854. 10 races, Woodbine. First post time is at 10:05. Kentucky Downs. One more day after today, and that's on Wednesday, Kentucky. Kentucky Downs, though, has 11 races today, 2 stakes races. They're just for $1 million apiece. The Juvenile Mile at a mile will be the 9th race on the card. The 8 to 5 favorite there is Street Beast with Juan Machado aboard. And then the Untappable for 2-year-old fillies, 10th race on the card. 14 are entered before any scratches. And in that race, Lenaloo is the 7 to 5 favorite. Post time at Kentucky Downs. First post for 11 races set at 10:20 this morning. 10:20 Kentucky Downs. By the way, they do have a carryover in their Super High 5 at Kentucky Downs of $9,296. Prairie Meadows has 14 races, 7 races for 2-year-old quarter-horse trials, and 7 thoroughbred races make up their 14-race card at Prairie Meadows. And let's see, Prairie Meadows, they hit those big carryovers, I guess. Okay, there you are. First post time at Prairie Meadows today for 14 races, 7 trial quarter horses, 7 thoroughbreds. First post time is at 12:30. Hawthorne Racecourse has 8 races. Hawthorne's first post time today is set at 12:40. 12:40 at Hawthorne. A small Super High 5 carryover of $1,446. 12:40 first post Hawthorne. Closing day where the turf meets the surf at good old Del Mar. 11 races on this closing day card, 2 stakes races. They are the Del Mar Futurity will be the 4th race on the card. 6 go to the post in this race. Bob Baffert has 4 in there. Doug O'Neill has 2 in there. There is no place and no show wagering in this race, only win betting in the Del Mar Futurity. Brant is the even money favorite, one of the Baffert horses. Flavie and Pratt aboard there. And the other stakes race on the card is the Del Mar Juvenile Turf. This is the 9th race on the card at a mile on the turf for 2-year-olds, an overflow field of 15 before scratches. There'll be scratches. But in this race, it's wide open like it was yesterday for the Juvenile Fillies Turf, where that $125 horse came in. It's open as well in this race. And I believe the morning line favorite in this race, if I check it out, is Hey Nay Nay. Hey Nay Nay is 4-1 on the morning line with Hector Barrios aboard. And that is the favorite in the Del Mar Juvenile Turf. 11 races today at Del Mar. First post time is 1:30. Everything goes out the door today at Del Mar. Mandatory payoff. Emerald Downs, closing day at Emerald Downs. They got a mandatory payoff in their Pick 6 jackpot and the Super High Five. The Pick 6 jackpot, $41,074. The Super High Five carryover mandatory is $2,095. Emerald Downs has 12 races today, 4 $50,000 stakes races dotted on the card. First post time at Emerald Downs, mandatory payoffs today, $150 at Emerald Downs. And then we wrap it up with Los Alamitos in Southern California. Los Al has a first post time today at Los Alamitos is at 6:45. 8 races, 1 mixed breed, 3 thoroughbreds, 4 quarter horses. 6:45 is the first post time at Los Al this evening. And that is your racing menu for today. Let's get out to Jonathan Ardoon standing by. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. So happy to hear you happy this morning. Everything's working, and that makes you happy, and I don't blame you.
Yes, it does, because, look, the people out there who watch and listen to our show, you know, out of the 24 precious hours of each day of their life, most each day of their life, they decide to spend 1 hour with us in the mornings. That's valuable, and I respect that. And when something happens that stops them from doing that, it ticks me off more than just me having a problem for the day. So I'm glad everybody's back out there, and I'm glad everything is working. So there you have it.
I agree, Ralph. Some doozy results yesterday.
Oh, please.
Coast to coast. Powerball was easier to hit than the Pick 6 yesterday at Del Mar, in my opinion.
But, you know, it wasn't a CAW. A lot of people suspected, of course, CAW through their conversation. They didn't come out outright and say it, but even Kurt Hoover was saying, what the heck's going on with this? There's somebody alive. But I guess this would be really a case of either somebody having an unusual way of handicapping or somebody betting birthdays, numbers, or something like that. Whatever the case may be, congratulations.
Absolutely.
$288 ticket come up with those horses?
Unbelievable. The problem was Pick 6 2 days ago and 3 days ago were also one winning ticket, and we have no idea where they were hit. But the more they keep it hidden, the more reason to suspect that it was probably CAW.
You're absolutely right, because now that they reported this return and they didn't report those last 2 returns, it becomes more suspicious.
Right.
Than if they would have reported it. Why aren't they reporting it? Is the question everybody's asking.
Understand, Ralph. Horse players aren't stupid. They get it. They figure it out way before the suits figure it out. So they're not fooling anybody.
Well, way before the suits and or the smart suits ignore doing something.
Exactly.
Anyhow, well, we go into today, closing day at Del Mar. I'll probably ask you on Wednesday your rehash of Del Mar and the uniqueness, I will say. I'll use the word uniqueness of this meet. That's for sure.
You know, it's crazy, Ralph. With all these crazy prices and everything, favorites are winning about 40%. So, I guess I don't know how. I don't remember many favorites winning, but it's an extremely high, percentage of winning favorites.
Yes,
and they mix in the crazy results with it. So it's a little something for everybody, I guess.
I think you hit it right on the nail. Yes, there might be a more than average amount of favorites winning, but it's those big crazy horses that hit in the sequences of the Pick 5 and the Pick 6 that make these crazy payoffs happen. That's for sure. Hey, what about Kentucky Downs? Big meet, big racing, and record handled yesterday, and a lot of key results yesterday too.
Yeah, well, there was no New York yesterday, so obviously those people gravitated towards Kentucky Downs, I guess. I mean, they had Gulfstream, I get it, and Monmouth like they have every other weekend, but the New York obviously is a big chunk, and those players opted to play Kentucky Downs.
And some of the horses and certainly the jockeys they're familiar with, the Ortiz brothers, et cetera, are all down at Kentucky Downs too. So that makes perfect sense in that. They're going to wrap it up on Wednesday. But yesterday was the big day of racing. Any performances yesterday at Kentucky Downs that stand out to you?
Nothing special, really. I mean, they would that Jose D'Angelo horse that won going 6.5 furlongs. People thought he couldn't go past 5.5 furlongs, and he ended up going 6.5 furlongs and drawing off and winning easily. So
you're talking about She's So Spicy.
Yeah, she's so Other than that, they were just regular good races, I guess.
All right. Well, let's see if we can handicap some regular good races today. I know you got you got 3 sheets available. You got Gulfstream, Kentucky Downs, and Del Mar. We'll take a pick at any one of those tracks you want to give us.
Okay, so let's go to Kentucky Downs first and look at the 8th race today, Ralph. It's a mile on the turf, and I really like the number 9 horse in here, Belle of Rights. This is a 4-year-old filly from the Shug McGahee barn. Tries her first time at Kentucky Downs, but she's an improving horse. She's getting better with each start. I love the rider switch today to Brian Hernandez, 10-1 on the morning line. I like number 9, Belle of Rights, to win today's 8th race out at Kentucky Downs.
Number 9, Belle of Rights. 10-1 on the morning line, 8th race at Kentucky Downs, number 9. Oh, you got to give me something at Del Mar.
Well, obviously, the 10th race today, Ralph, 6.5 furlongs on the main track. Number 10, Dancing with Maxine, a 4-year-old filly from the Clifford Sice barn. This trainer doesn't start many horses anymore, but when he sends them out, they're always ready to run. This horse has 8 career starts, 2 of them on the dirt. Back on the dirt today, and those were her best races. Mike Smith aboard to ride, fresh off the win yesterday, 5-1 on the morning line. I like number 10, Dancing with Maxine, to win today's 10th race out at Del Mar.
All right, 10th race at Del Mar, number 10. Easy to remember. The 10 in the 10th race at Del Mar is Jonathan's play today. And I won't even ask you about the Del Mar futurity.
Well, Brandt is highly regarded. They paid over $3 million for the horse. The horse was extremely impressive in career start number 1, and I'm sure he's probably going to make it 2 in a row today.
Well, remember that Mr. Baffert had 3 in the Del Mar debutante yesterday, and a horse he only paid $100,000 for, and I say that in proportion to what he usually pays. He wins that race instead with the $100,000 horse, but it was for his wife. That's an important key.
Absolutely. And by the way, the turf race, D'Amato also had the 2-1 favorite in that race, and that's where the $125 horse came in. So maybe playing trainers, longer price horses in the race, not such a bad idea sometimes.
You think? I think you're onto something there, Jonathan. All right, don't forget 3 sheets today, right?
Yes, Gulfstream, Kentucky Downs, and Del Mar, JONHARDOON.com. Thank you, Ralph.
All right, we'll talk to you on Wednesday. Even you might even have a soapbox ready for us on Wednesday.
Have a great day. Stay safe and be well.
You too, my man. All right, we're going to come back. I'm going to give you Rich Ang's horse plays. I'm going to give you Rich Ang's NFL plays, and then we'll wrap it up with John and Jerry. Do not do it. Don't go away.
Thank you, buddy.
There are many families that need your help. I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation in their efforts to deliver mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responders families with young children, as well as eradicating homelessness amongst our veterans. Everybody knows where the money's going. Every single dollar. God bless you. Please contribute $11 a month to support their efforts by visiting t2t.org.
This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is smoke and fire. This is high stakes and wild cards. This is family and tradition. This is everything on the line. This is it. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas. The South Point 400, a NASCAR playoff race, October 10th through 12th. Get your tickets now. LVMS.com.
All right, we're back on Race Day Las Vegas for this Sunday, the first Sunday of the real NFL season. Preseason over, drafts over, everything's over, and now it's time to start the new season. And you know our man Rich Eng was good to us last year during the entire football season, and so he has a pick for us on this first Sunday. Richie likes the Pittsburgh Steelers, opening at -2.5 over the New York Jets. So his play is the Steelers laying the small number, the Steelers winning, beating the Jets, hopefully by more than 3 points. And that's his NFL pick. As far as his thoroughbred picks, horse racing picks, I should say, he has 2 sheets available today on the racedaylasvegas.com websites. He has a full sheet for Kentucky Downs and a full sheet for Del Mar. We'll go to Kentucky Downs, give you the play there. At Kentucky Downs in the in the third race. In the third race today at Kentucky Downs, Richie likes number 7, Collective Beauty. Collective Beauty is 3-1 on the morning line with Irad Ortiz Jr. aboard. Number 7, Collective Beauty in the third race at Kentucky Downs is his play there. And then we'll shoot over to Del Mar. And at Del Mar, he goes to the 8th race there. In the 8th race at Del Mar, he likes the 5, Modus Bestia, I should say. Modus Bestia. The 5 horse in the 8th race, Flavien Prat aboard at the odds of 6-1 on the morning line. 8th race, the 5 at Del Mar. So you got the Steelers, the 5 in the 8th race at Del Mar, and in the third race at Kentucky Downs, the 7. Don't forget, Richie's got full sheets for both the Del Mar and Kentucky Downs at the racedaylasvegas.com websites. When we come back, we wrap it up with John and Jerry. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
You get value with the home team.
Even though the total's been batted down a little bit, I still think it's okay to go under.
Lean into the favorite. I do like the over.
You're talking about two-way action, over 3 touchdowns.
The wise guys are certainly not going to play the favorites.
If you see a hook here, it's not going to last long.
Are we sure either of these quarterbacks are good?
Hell no, we're not sure.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Time to go out to Southern California where John Lindo's standing by. John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, my man. Not better today than I was yesterday morning at this time, but everything is working fine today, and we have closing day at Del Mar. I will, of course, give you and all of our other handicappers a couple of days to digest Del Mar's complete meet before I ask you to give me a wrap-up, a review of the Del Mar season this year on Wednesday. But for today at Del Mar, it looks like another renewal goes to Bob Baffert in the Futurity.
Well, he's got 4 of the 6 runners, and the only other 2 horses they could round up for the Del Mar Futurity are 2 maidens from the Doug O'Neill barn. It just tells you where, how these 2-year-olds, the gap between the Bob Baffert stable and everybody else in Southern California in regards to good 2-year-olds is unbelievable.
Well, one of our chatters on the chat box added up the arithmetic and said that there's $7,760,000 worth of 2-year-olds in that race today under the care of Bob Baffert.
Well, one of them cost $3 million, so that has a lot to do with it, and that was Brandt, who brought $3 million earlier this year, and he ran like he was worth the money in his debut. He's a big gray colt, I tell you what, though, he doesn't have the cleanest action in the world. I'm interested to see how long he lasts.
Well, all I can tell you is this. Your memory could just make sure your memory isn't real short, because Baffert won with only a $100,000 purchase yesterday in the Del Mar Teviton when he had two others that were expensive buys too. So we'll wait and see about that. But nevertheless, he's going for his 18th debutante. 18th Futurity. That is amazing.
That's incredible. Same Grade 1 race at 18 years. It tells you, first of all, he's been around a while, and he's had a lot of good 2-year-olds over a lot of years.
Yeah, he's won the last 4 in a row. He's going to probably make it 5 in a row today. But the Del Mar Juvenile Turf, at a mile on the turf later on, presents the same openness and maybe a crazy result, who knows, as the turf did yesterday for the Juvenile Fillies, when Phil D'Amato, of all people, comes home in that race with a $125 winner.
Yeah, the filly he ran in there, they purchased privately from, she had raced at Laurel in their debut. She hated the kickback and the one started Del Mar, but she didn't really have any turf breeding, so it didn't look like she should improve there, but she sure did. I'll tell you this, Ralph, the time was pretty slow for the race, 137 and 3, and that's what you get when you try the 2-year-olds trying something new, not just one thing, 2 turns, but also the turf, and that's the question you have today in the Del Mar Juvenile Turf. There's some good 2-year-olds in here, but most of them are kind of proven going either 5 furlongs on the grass or something on the dirt. The route races on the grass are all new to most of them.
Yeah, in this race, Hey Nay Nay, believe it or not, is the favorite on the morning line at 4-1, and I guess most of that contributed to the jockey Hector Barrios, who obviously is a master on the turf course, and this race is on the turf.
Well, he's been well regarded the entire time. He broke his maiden for fun at Santa Anita, and that was early in the year. So he really had no place to go, and John Sadler actually sent him out to Monmouth Park, where he dominated a turf sprint stakes as a prep race for this race. He should get 2 turns. We'll find out today, but he's got a lot of talent, and the fact that he was able to ship and come back, and he's done everything without getting his mind cooked. It's a good sign that looks like a pretty nice horse.
Yeah, you gotta really, it's an extra special horse at this time as a 2-year-old that has a limited amount of starts to do what he did at Del Mar, then ship across the country, go to Monmouth Park, on the turf there, dispose of that field, and then get back on a plane and come back to Del Mar to try the Del Mar, turf race there today for juveniles. And you're right, Hey Nay Nay deserves to be favored, but maybe 4-1 is a big bargain on this horse.
Well, I don't know. There's just so many questions. You have to demand value, obviously. I thought Proletariat going short again on the grass looked like a route horse, sprinting. So I think he'll stretch out and run well. And then there's a horse from France for Leonard Powell, Caro Buono, I think is how it's pronounced. And, he thinks that's a horse that's going to be best going 2 turns. So a lot of options in here. And based on what we saw with a 60-1 shot over a 70-1 shot yesterday, don't throw anybody out.
Well, if you're going to use that as an all race, it's going to be expensive because there's 15 in it. Of course, I figure a couple of scratches there. Caro Buono drew the post 13 in the 1 mile race. Now, Flavien Prat is aboard, so he'll he's one of the guys that can work out a trip, but it's going to be hard for him out there for that horse. But Hey Nay Nay breaks from post 5 and looks like maybe the opposite will happen today in this turf race that didn't happen yesterday in that turf race. 11 races today at Del Mar. We have a mandatory payoff and everything that goes out the door. And for the want of somebody who put together an unbelievable $288 ticket yesterday through Twin Spires, we'd have had a big carryover today in the Pick 6.
Either that person is a genius or it was part of a batch of tickets that went in for, I don't know. They say it was an individual. Either that individual is the best handicapper I've ever seen, or there was, something else going on, because I just don't see how that sequence got put together, and neither did most of the guys that I know that do this on a regular basis.
Yeah. Even Kurt Hoover mentioned he couldn't believe there was anybody alive going into the last race when he did his last race handicapping for the in-house. I will say this. They reported yesterday, they gave the report yesterday, but it just raises so many more, raises so much more of why didn't they do this for the last couple of ones that were singletons either. Either you stay consistent or you don't, because you're going to raise a lot of questions and a lot of people wondering.
Yeah, that's 3 straight days through yesterday that there's been a single ticket winner in the Pick Six at Del Mar. And again, some tough sequences to put those together. Usually the tracks like to promote the fact when there is a single ticket winner, how much the ticket cost, where it was purchased, just as a promo that, hey, you can make a big score when you go to the racetrack. They've been awful quiet about these. The one came out late yesterday. Steve Anderson from Daily Racing Form was contacted by one of the Del Mar officials. That's where we got that number of 288. But we don't know where the other two were, how much they were purchased for.
Yeah, you got to be consistent, because if you're erratic about that, that only raises questions and suspicion. And in this game, you have to have the integrity has to be beyond reproach when you're talking about the trust of handicappers and people betting money. John, why don't we do this? Going into today, Juan Hernandez has 43 wins, so unless Antonio Fresu can come up with 7 more wins, he's going to be safe as far as the jockeys. Bob Baffert has 4 over Mark Glatt, although Glatt had a couple of winners yesterday. Baffert's got 22 wins going into today, and, of course, a couple of races that look like free bingo squares. Hey, how about a pick today?
Let's go to race number 7 at Del Mar. In the 7th race today, I really like the way number 9, Uncle Dude, handled the 5 furlongs on the grass. First time sprinting on the turf. Really finished well last time, got beat just a head or a nose. And there's more pace today signed up than there was last time. You got Flavien Prat taking the call here. He'll work out a trip from off the pace. And with the rails down at 0, there's a lot of room to kind of find a place to make your move. 5-1 on the morning line. If he runs back to that last race, number 9, Uncle Dude, will be tough to beat. Race 7 today at Del Mar.
All right, in the 7th race today at Del Mar, number 9, Uncle Dude, with Flavien Prat aboard, the 9 in the 7th race. And again, John Lendo's Lender Report, just one Lender Report today, and it covers the entire Del Mar season, entire Del Mar. Well, it did cover the Del Mar season, but it covers the entire Del Mar card today, 11 races. And, of course, a suggested late pick 4, as he's been doing all meet long, also reports the ship and win horses. And there are several ship and win horses trying on this final day at Del Mar as well. All that goody information is available right now on the Lender Report, one comprehensive Lender Report available here today for closing day at Del Mar in the South Point Racebook, the only place you can get it in Nevada, the South Point Racebook, and it's free of charge to the horse players because they love horse players. We do not have Jerry Jackowitz on with us yet. I guess Jerry overslept or something. But what we will do, I'll give you quickly his play at Del Mar, his feature play at Del Mar. His feature play at Del Mar comes in the 11th race. In the 11th race at Del Mar today, Jerry's feature play is the 3-horse Cuban Confusion. The 3 Cuban Confusion, and he usually gives us his feature play, so that's what I'm doing for him on behalf of Jerry today. 11th race, the 3-horse, and let's see how his rated horses would be. I would imagine he'll link it up to the 1, the 6, and the 8. So you got the 3 over 1, 6, 8, and reverse. 3 over 1, 6, 8. Feature play plus his top-rated horses is usually what Jerry does for us, and so that I will convey that to you. For some reason, he's not with us this morning. And so in the 11th race, the 3 over 1, 6, 8, and reverse. The 3 is the key. Of course, Jerry J's Power Pages can be had for the rest of the races at Del Mar at jerryjspowerpage.com. Well, we wrap up the Del Mar season, and now we look forward to the march to the Breeders' Cup, which is, it's less than 58, 57 days away for the Breeders' Cup. So we're going to start going for there. And, of course, we'll be back on Wednesday with our handicappers, getting ready for the change of tracks from one place to another around the country on Wednesday's card. So in the meantime, enjoy your football, enjoy the racing, enjoy the family, and just have a good time out there. Be safe, everybody. And John, you can say the last word.
Have a great race day, everybody.